I think I need a surveyor, but where do I start and who do I call? How many estimates do I get? And how do I know a good one from a bad one? What is involved and what am I getting when I request a boundary stake survey from a survey company? Oftentimes, people just see a surveyor come out and put the wood stakes in and think, well, there's nothing to that. It only took them 5 minutes to put those stakes in. I think they just came out with the GPS and set them. Is that the case or is there more to it? Well, there's a lot more to it. However, most surveyors come out, pull up to a house, for instance, lot 12 highlighted in yellow, look for 2 or 3 boundary markers as shown in red. When they find a couple of markers that check mathematically, they go ahead and stake the property. But how do you know those two that might have checked between themselves are actually correct? What if they were both a foot in the wrong spot? So there's still the right distance between each other, but they're both a foot out. How would you know this unless you did a much more thorough and accurate survey? Unfortunately, the survey you're seeing is the survey that most companies do. Dooley and Associates and some others, when they come out to do a boundary survey on lot 12 as highlighted in yellow, will look for all the boundary corners that you see in red. Not just 2 or 3, not just the first 2 or 3. We're looking for 10 or 15 or 20. We locate lines of possessions like fences, as shown with the X's on the boundary lines. We locate the streets. We spend the entire day gathering data all over the entire neighborhood. Bring it back to the office for the registered surveyor to go through and figure out what's good and what's not so good. And you might ask, well, when I find a survey marker, why isn't it good? Well, sometimes lawnmowers hit them, sometimes snow plows, sometimes malicious neighbors think they're not in the right spot and have pulled them out and moved them. Sometimes kids have messed with them. But most common, surveyors have done a shoddy job, like on the prior slide, and didn't thoroughly survey all over the entire neighborhood. And they ended up setting corners in the wrong spot. There's a lot of unlicensed, unregistered, and careless surveyors out there setting boundary markers. And this is a big problem. When a survey is complete and your boundary stakes are in, shortly thereafter, you should be receiving the survey drawing or plat. This is a very, very detailed, accurate drawing of your boundary lines and all of the improvements on the property and any improvement that's near the property that might be encroaching or that is encroaching. As you can see, it's shown to the inch exactly where these fence lines are. Whether it's fence lines, whether it's a shed, an in-ground pool, or even in a house. If it's encroaching, it needs to be shown and needs to be shown accurately. It's very important to receive this plat. If you ended up in a major dispute and possibly in court, you would need this document to hold up in court. It's very important that you don't hire a surveyor to do your survey and agree to pay a little bit less and not receive the drawing. The drawing is the proof of what was done. It's critical you get the drawing. So what are some of the things I should request from a surveyor as I call around and get estimates? 3 things you should request are proof of liability insurance, proof of E&O insurance, and a copy of their business license. These things should be readily available and really be able to be instantly emailed to you while on the phone. If you call our office, we have those things right at our fingertips and can send it to you. Any surveyor that's legitimate and legal should also be able to provide these things. What are some other red flags to look for when picking a surveyor? If you can't find that survey company or many reviews on that company on Google, that's a red flag. If the price seems too good to be true, that's a red flag. No surveyor is going to come out and spend his own money to do your survey. That's just not going to happen. If the price seems to be pretty good, it's probably cutting corners. And that's not good. That's a red flag. If someone offers to just come out and uncover or find corners, they may not be licensed. Even if they are, that's just not good. That's a waste of money. Those corners, as stated prior, are oftentimes in the wrong spot. In fact, our experience in 30 years of surveying is it's about a 50-50 chance that their corners are correct when you find them. If a survey company suggests coming out and doing your boundary survey and not providing a drawing, that's a red flag. The drawing is really, really important. It protects the surveyor and protects you. It proves what they did, and it proves to you what you received. It's the document you need if you had to go to court with a dispute over a neighbor. Make sure you get a drawing with your survey. Another red flag is if they can't readily provide the insurance and license information. All of these things should be red flags and warnings to you to stay away. There's lots of good surveyors out there, not just us, but there's lots of bad ones too. So beware. If you'd like to ask more questions or you'd like to talk to us, we'd love to talk to you. Hopefully Dooley & Associates can provide you with all your surveying needs. Thank you and have a good day.